Welcome back, everybody, to Let's Play 35 plus years of Advanced Squad Leader. It's Monday, which means hello, Rob. How's it going?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. We've got an interesting scenario, more more interesting than Saturdays, unfortunately. Um, Today's scenario involves a little bit of fun. I did have to bug some people online, and then they were telling me no and all this sort of stuff with the maps. So, uh, if anybody is curious about this map in particular, um, I just learned this today. Bounding Fire has a new website. I don't know why they switched websites, but they have a new website now. I have to actually try and find it again because I only had the link on my phone. Where did they move to? You know what? I'm gonna go to the ASL Discord. And while I'm doing that, Bounding Fire, you can go to their website. They will have a link to their downloads page, and on their downloads page, you can find the map in question that we're using. However, for whatever reason, they have misnamed it or renamed it BFP2, even though the map is supposed to be called BF2. Don't know why. I've ceased asking questions about it. I'm gonna call it BF2, and I'll always do so. Um, anyway, so getting this to work was a bit of a workaround because initially the maps did not work because we were searching for BF2, not BFP2. All right. So this scenario is involving the Germans versus Norwegians. We're getting very close to the end of this. There's still going to be a couple more scenarios, into end of May, that sort of stuff. But the meat and potatoes of the Norwegian campaign is essentially over. Um, if not with this scenario, then it'll be one or two scenarios with Rutan. So uh, we are with Deluxe ASL, which means our hexes are super big. There's some fun stuff that we can technically do. There's hand-to-hand combat and all that sort of stuff that may be possible. And this scenario involves a lot of variables and SSRs. So I'll try to get through this as quickly as possible here. First, snow, implied ground snow, no wind at start. Weather is deep snow. Should probably mention it at the start. Don't know why it's split. All hedges are snow drifts. So everything from, G5, H4, I4, J2, etc., 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 are all snow drifts. They are not hedges. Now, uh, the most important part here is that drifts do impose bog +2. It costs all your movement factors or movement points to go over a drift, and they count as half-level obstacles. This is actually super important because if you're in a foxhole, you might not be able to see over drifts. So something to keep in mind if one or the other of us try to occupy foxholes and want to shoot other people. Additional snow drifts cannot be created through a wind change dice roll. Drifts can occupy more than one hex side for certain hexes, so essentially we don't have to redraw any of these hedges here. They're just counted all as snow drifts. A plowed road exists from BF2 H5 to K1 to H0 over at the top here. So L5, M1, N1, etc., and D3, C4, B3, and A3 are all non-plowed hexes, or roads, I should say. Um, yeah, okay, wait, that's weirdly written, and it's still same applies. All right, cool. All buildings are single story. There's no multi-hex buildings, so we don't have to really worry about anything, and no icons are larger. So same thing, don't have to worry about it. All board E orchards are crags. The only exception are an orchard road, which I don't even know applies anywhere. I didn't see anywhere where it applied, so whatever. And the bridge in K2 is damaged. There's a lot of stuff here. So all same level fire that crosses the bridge incurs a +1 LOS hindrance. This also applies to interdiction. All fire at units on the bridge incurs a +2 TEM, regardless of where the fire is coming in from. This is also calculated for SAN reasons. So if there's a unit on K1 and a unit on K2, K2 has +2, whereas K1 is open ground with 0. Vehicles may cross the bridge, but do so as if entering a stone building. So they bog. There's a huge bog chance. They don't have a cellar, though, so they don't just like disappear on the bridge, which is nice for the Germans. Infantry enters the bridge at a cost of 2 movement factors, so representing the damage there. Kindling is not allowed. If applicable, due to ELR failure, German conscripts are considered green. They do not go to. They are not even worse as conscripts. And their broken side morale is increased by 1. And lastly, what the scenario is named after, the Norwegian squads on a hill hex, so K5 as an example, may quote-unquote roll stones as support weapon usage whenever firing inherent firepower at an adjacent lower level hex, aka K1, L5, and J5. Move the IFT for an attack using stones 1 column to the right after all doubling, halving, etc. Stone usage may be combined with any fire group. So it's very important that not only can you fire group and get the bonus, but it's after all other modifiers. So if you double to 28 or whatever, you'll bump up to 32 and all that crazy stuff. I was looking for Bounding Fire's website as well on the side, and suffice to say, I can't really pronounce their website link, so I'm just going to put it in the text in the chat. If you go to main.allthatstuff.amplifyamp.com, apparently that is Bounding Fire's new website before they get it renamed or something. I don't know. Again, not sure why they have a new page, but whatever. And then, is there anything else? ELR SAN of 3 for the Norwegians, ELR 3 SAN of 2 for the Germans. They have some units that get to set up either on the bridge or adjacent, just as long as they're not north of the river. Everybody else comes in on the south edge of BF2, and the Norwegians all set up concealed. Victory conditions for this scenario is Germans win at game end by controlling 3 or more level 2 hexes of Hill 108. So essentially M2, M3, L3, and K4 are the only eligible hexes. And I think that covers everything. Don't know what the balance is, or what the... I'd be surprised if a lot of people played this scenario. Rolling Stones. What does the archive say?
Yeah, we seem to have an eye for oddballs.
9-5. So at least 14 people have played this, which is impressive, to say the least.
That is a lot more than I thought you were going to find.
But it does seem a little favored towards the Germans, and we'll see. We'll see if that's the case. And,
Favorite for the Germans. Well, they haven't run into me yet.
well, yeah, I think my good luck is set to expire here. I can't imagine I'm gonna keep getting lucky.
Time will tell, my friend.
Speaking of lucky, I'm gonna put my sniper in I3.
Okay, I'm gonna drop mine right in the middle of all your boys.
Also, I should point out. I don't think you're allowed to put it in a hex that is occupied.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I want to.
Yeah.
I want to say it's to prevent you from being able to shoot at the snipers, but
Right.
Anywhere else really is fine. The only other thing I forgot to mention here that's really important. Norwegians all set up concealed regardless of terrain type on board E. So you can be in open ground, you can be anywhere. You start concealed, which is kind of shady, but all right. It just seems very strong, you know.
Yeah, yeah. It seems interesting. Interesting.
And yeah, with that, Germans turn one.
One turn one. Okay. Well, I guess we'll do wind change. Like you do.
All right, 8, solid start.
Okay. No deployments. No prep, of course. Go straight
No prep.
to. Well,
I can't imagine you'd want to prep.
mm, you know,
It's not a terrible idea because you do get first shot, but I don't think it'd be worth it. Is really
I'm
what it
not
comes down to.
sure. Staring at a company of entrenched infantry, those guys, you know, that just doesn't look like a really brilliant idea. Anyway, we shall see. All right, right to movement phase. So starting in K2,
Hmm.
assault move.
Okay, so this is kind of the thing I was worried about here. If you're on a bridge,
Oh, are we doing the bridge thing again?
well, the
We're
bridge.
doing.
If you're on a bridge, you can't. You have to leave through the road, right? I'm gonna double check. I'm gonna double check this because I know I've said this confidently before, and I still feel very confident about it. Because if you want to change their setup, that's totally fine.
Well, they
Um,
have to set. That's okay.
because well, you set up on or adjacent, so you can be in K
That,
three.
yeah, they could be sitting in the middle of the road. That's true.
Let me see here. 2 lane addition. Bridges may be used by
Bridges.
any unit. Bridges usable by vehicles always connect directly. Um, all bridges block LOS. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, so entrance of, so this is a B6.4. Entrance of or exit from a bridge location can only occur by crossing a road hex side on that bridge. The exceptions here are by scaling and using a climbing counter in the bridge hex. Um, if you were underneath the bridge, different. You're not considered on the bridge, etc. But yeah.
Okay, so all right, this confuses my small brain. So,
So if you're in K2, you have to exit through K1 or K3 because you can't just jump off the bridge into J1 is basically what it's saying. It's a
okay.
mandatory entrance slash exit. So no matter what, like you even from my side, like I wouldn't be able to enter K2 from L1. I have to go through K1, then K2, K3.
Got it. All right.
Yeah.
So then, yeah, they want to set up a K3 then.
Yeah, that's fine. It makes a lot of sense
Yeah,
to have to do that.
if they can't assault move into the buildings, it makes no sense to be on the bridge.
Exactly. Because like the only that's why like I was thinking like, oh well, you're set up all on the K2. At the very least you've got the +2 from the bridge, so you've got a 7 firepower you can kind of toss around type idea, but it's still
Yeah.
pretty risky.
Yeah. Okay. Movement. Starting over. Assault move.
Okay, so that's 2, or sorry, 2.5, I think,
Yeah. Well,
because it's
it's essentially open ground, but it is deep snow, right? So,
yeah, so you're
but it is level 0, so we're not entering a depression because of the flooded counts as
correct.
a pond, right? So it's one level higher.
Yeah.
Right. So it's over the wall. That's +1. One for
S-
open ground. That's 2, and +1 per hex side for deep snow. So that's 2.5 assault move.
Yeah, for the half. So I will 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I'll take the shot. Why not? It's not gonna. I'm not gonna bother keeping concealment here. So L4 is going to shoot at J2.
Okay.
There will be no bonus for the wall or anything. It's a straight shot. Do crags count on both levels?
Is a
Crags
crag
are
inherent
inherent
to move?
hindrance. Yeah. Okay.
So that
So it's a flat shot because it's 1 for open ground. Or sorry, no, it'll be a +1 because that'll block it. So 6 of 1. No. But I will leave at least 1 residual.
Okay. Anything else at that little guy?
Nope. That guy's fine.
Okay. Salt moon.
All right, I'll do the same. J4 will shoot. It's 4-1. I will cower, but it's a 3-on-2, which is a 1 morale check.
One check coming in.
Oof.
Okay.
That's a morale check,
I
so you're at
see
heat of
you
battle.
Snake eyes, and I raise you a snake eyes, and I get a sniper. By the
And you get a heat of battle.
Heat of battle coming in. Doink.
It's a battle hardened. Yeah, you're not elite. I think you miss hero by 1.
Missed by 1.
That gets flipped. I won't get any residual. Dang.
Alrighty, coward. That's right.
And sniper.
Alright. Sniper.
Phew.
No love in sniper land. Okay. These guys.
Mm-hmm.
Assault move.
I will take a shot with K5.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna hope that I can see. I feel confident saying that I can. Yep. That is clean. That will be an 8 down 1. Also a cower. So I'm doing well today. Cower to 6. And it's a 5-on-6, 1 morale check.
Sounds like a 1 check, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Leader. No good. But not Lord and squad. Pins.
And then they went to 6, so there will be 2.
Okay, no more shots at that guy?
Nope.
Okay. Here?
Sure.
Salt moon?
Mm-hmm.
Here?
Yep.
Salt moon?
You're in.
Here?
Mm-hmm.
Salt moon?
Assault move. Sure.
Any real boys have line of sight to him?
I can't. Maybe. I might have some from L4. Let me string it. L4. Yep. I definitely have it. Mortar. Double mortars. All right.
Okay. Here?
Mm-hmm.
Clear armored assault?
Okay.
1?
Mm-hmm.
2?
Sure.
3?
They'll lose concealment, but otherwise, yeah, you're good.
Okay.
Because they'll still be from L4. 2 hair squad, and a tank, all right?
4?
Mm-hmm.
5?
Road bonus 5. Okay.
Done?
Excuse me. No shots at them.
Okay. And the last pile of dudes. Declaring armored assault.
Mm-hmm.
Doink.
Sounds good.
Doink.
Mm-hmm.
Good doink.
Mm-hmm.
Good doink.
Okay.
Movement is done.
Movement is done. Alright. Defensive fire phase. Who can I plank at? You know what? There's not much of a reason to to keep it. I'm going to reveal my big stack K4, and they are going to take a shot at. I'm pretty sure J3 is blocked, so I'm going to shoot K3. I'm not going to go for a tank kill, not yet, anyways. So it will be a 10 firepower, up 1, I believe. That will be nothing. That is it for defensive.
Okay. Advancing fire. Let's see what we got. What do we got? Awesome, a leader. That sucks. So what do we got in that square? We got 2, 4, 5.5. No, 2, 4. Yeah, 5.5. Up 2 there.
Up 2 on who?
Yonder.
Oh,
Cretans.
sure. Sure.
No love.
Starting to think you have a bias, and that's why you're just using the other roll. Like, it's the only one that works well for me.
I hit other. Sorry.
No, I'm just bugging you. Doesn't matter. And end of the day, it doesn't matter.
Right. Let's see. Tank. What does he have? He has 9.
Well, the tank is still in motion, correct?
I didn't say stop, so technically, yes.
Yeah. It would still be quartered anyways.
Right,
But
because he moved. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's still 2 and 25. So if you can get another quarter or 3/4 in there.
Yeah. So let's see. So with the squads we have 2, 3 hexes. So we have 4 with the squad. So we'll take a 4 up 2 at him. Why not? And I'll try not to hit other every single time.
A miss.
Miss. Not going to shoot the tank. That seems like a bad idea.
What? All right, sure.
What has he got? I'm trying to do the math in my head. So he's got 4 plus 5. So he's got 9, 4.5.
Yeah, quartered. So it goes down to 2 and 2.5. 2 1/4.
2 1/4. Yeah. So a 2 up 2. What does that need to hit? 4.
You need kind of basically a 3 to get any real effect.
Yeah.
Because pin is,
so
pin's not gonna do anything for me.
Pin doesn't do anything. It comes off before your turn. So yeah, we're not going to take that shot. All right. From my bigger stack, what do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hexes from L4. So 2. No. So 1, 2, 3, 4 plus 3 is 7. So a 7 up 2 from here to L4.
Up 3 for hindrance from K5. Right? Or do you completely avoid it?
I'm past the spine, so I don't think I get the hindrance.
You do not. Or sorry, I definitely was not on the center, but yeah, no, you're good.
It's kind of neat though. All right, 7 up 2. 7 on the 7 looks like
7 on
you got
7.
to roll some dice.
So 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, so those guys are halved twice. Oh yeah, I guess yeah. 7 on 7. Normal morale check. They break.
Lovely. Lovely. All right. Then This little duder, can he see anybody? The only guys he can see are the guys that just broke. So is that worth?
Pretty much.
And that's on the spine. So that's a 2 up 3. We're not going to take that. And these guys already shot. Mortars can advance fire, right? So done. Route phase. Me first. I got a busted leader who I believe he can go to M2. I think he has to go to M2. That's it for me.
I am not. I'm not gonna move my guy. He's gonna stay in his little foxhole there.
Stay in his little foxhole. Like the way you think. Okay, that's it for routes. Advance phase. Advance. 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 Advance under the tank. It's in motion, it doesn't matter. Advance. 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 No close combat. Concealment game. Let's see what we got. I think we got a big fat nothing.
Yeah, I can't
Even though
imagine.
he's broken, you can still see him.
Correct. I can still see the mortars, so.
Still see the mortars. So that's it. I'm done, sir.
Cool. We'll go to Norwegian turn 1.
Nobody can accuse us of slow play, that's for sure.
I mean, I hope nobody ever accuses me of slow play. I do not get anything from my self-rally. Anything on your end?
I got the leader in M2.
Sure.
No love.
Right. We'll go to prep fire. In the prep fire phase, let's try a couple things here. So I'm gonna try my 4 up 1 shot against your guy in L2. Nope.
Who's shooting at him?
I got in J4.
J4, got it.
K5 is going to take a shot at the guys in K3. They are not receiving the +1 from the tank because it's in motion. So it's an 8 flat. 1 check.
Shit.
Do I get... I did not get rate of fire. Jeez.
Leader? It's okay. Squad number 1, squad number 2. Pinned and broken. I'm up to my usual tricks.
ELR, too. I will take any ELRs I can get.
Oh yeah, he did. Yeah. Oh yeah, and that was the guy on the bottom who was going to turn into a weird conscript, right? With some special rule about broken
Yeah.
side morale.
So he's green instead of conscript and +1 broken morale.
So instead of conscripts,
I think the difference really is that you don't cower twice.
right?
I'm just
And
trying
the
to think of
broken side morale is +1.
yeah, that's the only. I'm just trying to think if there's
Okay.
anything else here.
Let me. I mean, they have green counters for Germans, right?
I'm not sure. Certainly not at the time this scenario was ever envisioned.
Right. Yeah, no, they don't have them.
Yeah.
So,
Just trying to think. Is there anything else here? Yeah. So the other bonus is that conscripts only get a maximum of 5 with a leader. Obviously not CX'd. Whereas green infantry retain the normal 6 if they're with leader, but otherwise uh, they have 3 movement factors.
right.
So either way, that is the shot from that guy. Kind of wish I'd gotten a little better, but best I can do here. I don't really like those guys on the bridge, which is unfortunate. I think I'll try to take a shot at them. So HMG and squad in K4 with the leader are going to shoot at K2. It is +2 for bridge, -1 for leader, +1 for hindrance in the way. So it's an overall +2. That is a 9 on 10, which might be a pintash check. It is a pintash check, and I did get rate of fire.
Okay, so let's check. Top squad, top halfy, middle halfy, bottom full squad. So
Right,
middle
1
guy.
pin, which is not great. I will use my rate of fire to take a shot at the tank in EE8. So it's 2 hits. It's a +4, 2 for moving, 1 for size, and then 1 for hindrance. So I'll still hit it. No, I needed snake eyes. I do have rate of fire, and I'll take one more shot. Same idea. I'll hit just barely. 4, I think, will be a stun. MG is 4. I'm at 1, 2, 3, 4 hexes away, which means there's a +1. Your armor is 1. So yeah, I'll stun that tank, which just means it stops its movement and it can't do anything this turn, and then it'll get a +1 moving forward. I still have rate of fire, but I'm gonna call it a break for him. And I think that'll be it for prep fire. Movement phase. Movement phase is going to be very interesting here. How do I want to do movement phase? There might not be anybody that can see through there, but does anybody see him? Probably not. All right, I'm going to take what may seem as a make or break decision here. So stacking F4 goes to G4 for 1.5.
E4, 1.5. Okay.
2.5 into H4.
2.5 into H.
Because it is a plowed road, so there shouldn't be any extra bonuses.
Right. Can my mortars sneak a line of sight through there?
I'm going to hope not.
Yeah, I guess I'll take the free check. Why not?
It's very...
So that's what I5 to H4?
Yeah.
I5 to H4. I5 to H4. No, not even close.
Phew. And then I will get my butt to H5 for 3.5.
Oh, that's interesting. H5 for 3.5.
Yeah.
The tank can definitely shoot at him, but it's going to be with some grotesque modifiers, right?
Yeah, turning modifiers plus motion.
Yeah, why didn't I say stop? It's just the dumbest thing ever. But you are running down the road, so I guess we'll take the shot.
You'll still try? All right. Does that
So
count?
9
Ooh.
IFE halved, right?
So if you're, since it's turning the main gun, does the main gun incur the +2 or whatever for turning the turret, or is it just still +1?
It's with IFE. Oh boy.
Yeah, it's the only thing I'm not sure about. I mean, roll it anyways, because we know there's a
We
-2
know it.
for uh, non-assault and open. Um,
Right.
there's going to be a +1 regardless, and it should be on 4.5.
Yeah, 4.5. So you just roll it.
So 9 on 4.5, or 8 on 4.5. Yeah, 8's still a miss.
Don't.
Or am I doing that math right? I don't think I'm doing that math right. The MG IFE armor, unlike me, only make one. Lower left hand. May all be added if fired together in one attack. The worst applicable CA. Okay, the worst applicable. The 3.52. Okay, so any BMG, CMG, or IFE firing outside its current respective covered arc must add a DRM to its IFT dice roll equal to the pertinent to hit DRM of case A.
Case A. Okay.
So a bow machine gun, which you're not shooting, so we don't worry about it. CMG is turret or slow turret, depending on gun type. And then obviously just the tank itself will be slow or turret or slow turret. So the worst one would be a +2. So it cancels out the open ground non-assault. So it's a minus
Right.
2 up to. Okay, that's what
Minus
I was
two.
getting wrong. So it's a
Got
7 on 4 pin test check. That's why it didn't make any sense to me. Leader's fine, squad's fine, squad's fine. All right.
Oh, Jesus. You.
Well, I'm glad I double checked that and it wasn't a normal morale check, because then I would have felt silly if I'd gotten all those right.
Once again, averaging in the fives on his die rolls.
Yeah.
Okay, that was
For my
first five.
test checks. Yeah. Anything else?
I don't think anybody else can see him, so
Okay.
carry on.
So they're there. I think I said 3.5 overall. They're just
Three
gonna
and a
end
half,
there.
I think.
Yeah, they're just gonna
Okay.
end there because I don't think there's any other movement that's gonna make sense for my guys here. Um, is there anything else I can do? Not particularly. No. No. Defensive.
All right, defensive fire. We'll start with this guy
Mm-hmm.
and this guy.
Sure.
4 up 2.
No.
It sounds like a big fat nothing, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's Pintash, or it's one above Pintash check.
Yeah, this guy on same group.
Sure.
Nada.
Counting some lucky stars here.
All right, guys on the bridge. What do we got? We got a pin guy. We got a not pin guy and a not pin guy. So we got 4,
7.
6, 7, up 2. Same guy. And that is the third hex side. Is that encircled?
No, because you have to be opposite. You
It
have
has
to
to
have.
have one non-adjacent hex side, right?
It's not non-adjacent. You have to there's a what's I forget what the page is for it, but there's a diagram that shows it. It really has to be like opposite sides. For example, if you shot through K2, you would have to then shoot through J3 and L3 if you couldn't get a shot from say K3's direction. If it's not directly opposite, you have to kind of enclose the remaining
Right.
sides.
You need the third hex side. All right. Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So 7 up 2. 7 up 2. 7 on the 7. Smells like a 1 check.
Yeah, some sort of morale check, but I will thankfully pass.
Yeah, you kidding me.
I need these. If I think I know why the Norwegians are losing the scenario.
Oh, come on, guys. This is just, there's no justice in the world when you roll like 5-5-5-3.
You know what? I think the fascists shouldn't have the justice. So if we're being
There's
honest.
no justice. It's a lack of justice. That's what I'm trying to say. All right. Pawn boys.
Pawn boys, yeah.
I'll shoot here.
Sure. Up
Actually,
3.
I wonder if they could see them because that's up 2. I'll string that. Why not? Did you already string that? It's good.
I forget, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I'd rather have you string it and find out than me saying yes and not being applicable.
No, it's good. So we'll take the 7 up 2, same guys.
Definitely Pintash check. I'm fine. Okay. I mean, Pintash check doesn't. I would be fine with failing Pintash checks. It's the morale checks I don't want to mess up.
Yeah, I'm just like, you won't fail anything.
This rate.
All right. A light machine gun has here has a 7 up 3, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Fire away. Yeah.
Oops.
Let's see. So tank stunned this turn, so he can't do anything. Squad is pinned, but does have a light, so he's what? He's a 3.5.
7.
Does that sound right?
If the squad, yeah, it's 3.5. Yeah.
Right, 3.5, but can't cower. So
Can't cower.
3.5 up 2, straight down the pipe.
Sure, on K5, whatever.
Alright, mortars. What can the mortars see? Good question. Well, let's see, down the spines, so they can see L4. So the mortars will shoot at L4.
Sure.
Range 2, 4, 6, 7. Area, so they're a 7. And then you're in a foxhole +2. So they need a 5 to hit. Or is the +2 on the result? I think I got it backwards, right? It's just a
TM is
7 to
always
hit, but you
on.
get the plus
Yeah, TM is always on result.
on the result. Yeah. So 7 to hit. First mortar hits with rate, and that is a 50 ball.
3, I believe. Yeah, 3 firepower.
It's not impressive. You know what I'm saying? It's not
Oh,
impressive.
3. When you got 3 rate of fire, he can just kind of lob till the
Well,
end of
yeah,
the day. Is
something
there?
good. Well, with a +2 on the 3 table coming in. Oh,
5 on
right.
3 normal. They will fail it. See, and you were so worried about it. Oh, I'll never get anything out of
I
it.
was worried.
I'll never get
You
anything
know.
out of it. Believe in
All right.
yourself.
Shoot him again. I need an acquisition. I'll get it. So 8 to hit this time. Hits with rate. Same deal. 3 up 2. 7 on the
Pin
3.
test check.
No effect. Shoot him again. Royalty. Hit with rate. No effect. Shoot him again. Hitting on 9s now. Hit, no rate. 3 up 2.
No.
8 on the 3 sounds like a nothing burger. Okay. Other mortar. Same target. Same target? Now we gotta think about if we could see somebody else. Why don't we? Oh, they're level 2. That's right. Why don't we take a pot shot at those guys? Right. That's less than 5 hexes away, so only 1 blind hex. That guy. All right. So that got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 again. So 7 to hit. Misses with rate. Fire again. 8 to hit. Bah. Done. All right. Dudes in the building. So it's your heavy machine gun.
Sure.
I have 11. Up 1.
I feel like you would get hindrance, but either way, it doesn't matter.
You're a level above. It's only a half line aside, half level hindrance, right?
I thought Craig was full level. Either way, it doesn't. 11 on 11 is not going to do anything.
Yeah, he missed anyway. So and no rate. So beautiful. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I know the feeling. Again, it feels like my mediums never get rate.
So from there, 9 up 1.
It's always
Same
same
hex.
level.
Come on, guys. Well, that is rate, so that's good. 9 on the 9. Is that a pin check?
On J4, you're shooting at?
Shooting top of the hill. Yeah.
From M4, you're shooting top of the hill? Oh.
Yeah. K4 to M4 to K4.
Right. Test check, they're fine.
Okay, we did get rate. We'll shoot him again. Shoot him again. So that's going to be a 5 up 1.
Mm-hmm. No.
That's a miss and no more rate. I think every single last person with their finger on the trigger has done their thing.
Oh, well, I just realized it's something wrong. Is
For
that
one
not
squad.
allowed from...
Something wrong?
I'm learning that you can't put fortifications in crag hexes, which is kind of strange. Pretty lame. It only affects the guy in K5, but it definitely would have meant I would have moved. Well, okay, whatever. I'll just move the foxhole. Where
Yeah,
would
you
I...
might have wanted to cover K1 anyway. Yeah.
Like yeah, no matter what, I would still have those guys there. They would just have a +1 instead of +2, which they haven't really been getting shot at anyways. Outside of
Yeah,
from
if they had
J1.
+1 instead of +2. Yeah.
So I'll just put the foxhole on M2. That way I'm not continuing to use the foxhole. I didn't realize you couldn't. That seems weird. Not being able to use fortifications in Crag.
Yeah, that sounds bizarre to me because
It
why
really
would
makes the
scratching a
defense
hole
hard.
in the dirt be worse than hiding behind a rock? I'm not sure I'm following that.
Yeah, it really makes the defense harder. Because
Yeah.
K5
Yeah.
is like the attack vector.
Right. Right.
Presumably no other shots.
Everybody has shot, sir.
Okay. Advanced fire phase, none. You'll be glad to hear. Oops.
Glad to hear that.
Let's resume there. All right, what else do I got here? Routes. Well, I'm not gonna route anybody because they're still in defensive terrain. There, they still get plus TM. Any routes for you?
I got some guys in K3 that got to find new home.
Yeah, the one guy.
New guy has got to go to K4.
Sounds good. I don't think anybody else is eligible. Advanced phase. I'm going to move the 9-1 leader into L4. I'm gonna try and help that guy out.
Makes sense.
And over on the left here, I'm gonna have one squad and one leader will go into I1. The other guys will go into H1. Is there any other movement for me to do here? That would be... Yeah, I don't think I can technically do that without getting some penalties there. So I think that's it for my advances. No CC. We will go to German turn 2.
Okay, rally phase. I have a lone SMC over yonder in M2. He's good.
You also got a weather afterwards.
Oh, weather, sorry. No weather.
No worries.
And we have a squad under DM in K4.
With a +2 only. No. And even though their morale is still, or is increased by 1, it's still...
Yeah, it's a 6 down to 2, 3, 4. So no good.
I will attempt to... Actually, is it a free action? I need to check support weapon recovery here. Is it free or is it... Okay, I can still... Alright. I will attempt to rally him. I will not rally him, unfortunately. It's pretty close. And that is my rallies.
Yes. You know, gallery will note that you rolled another damn 5 on a morale check. It's all you roll.
I mean, I wish I would still rally, though.
This game, so that's great.
I wish I would still be able to rally, though.
All right. So that's it for rally phase. Roll it for wind. Prep fire.
Fire.
What fire? I mean, I don't know. It seems to me that the best strategy is just to break everybody that can see you and then waltz up the hill. But I'm not sure how realistic a plan that is.
I mean, you can certainly try.
We can try it. That's right. All right. So your guys in I-1 are they're an issue. They're just
What?
a big fat issue. So why don't that guy and that guy gang up on that guy? So that looks like a 15 up too.
Sure. Well,
Of course, cower's down to where does
to
it
an
cower down
8.
to? 15 is a 12 is an I lose 7 columns.
Yep.
But we still get a
and
1K. So.
+2? No, it's a 2 check.
Oh, 1K, yeah, 2 check. Shit.
Leader, break, and squad break.
Okay. You're ELR 2, right? We get close on any of them?
No.
We did do what we came to do, which is why couldn't there have been a leader?
Uvini, Uvidied, Uvicied. You would need 2 leaders. Don't even start with not cowering.
That's right.
You would need an SSR or 2 leaders.
That's right. Or just be British. And then life is easy.
True, true. Or Finns. Or the Finns.
Fanatic. Could happen. All right, heavy machine gun. Come on, buddy. Get rid of this heavy. So we got, what do we got? We got 11 pips at you. Up 1.
Sure.
That's dangerous, I think. Oh, babe. 4 on 11? With rate of fire?
3 morale check.
Calculating immediately after rolling a 2 and a 3.
And no sniper.
And did he break? He ELR, I mean, I think he did, right?
Nope.
It wasn't 3 over?
No, because mine was exactly 3. That's my ALR. You have to roll over the... Yeah. If I'd rolled an 11, I would have ELR'd. But I rolled a 10 with the modifier.
Yep. Gotcha. All right, but we did break the heavy, so that is step 1 of the master plan. Step 2 of the master plan. Break the medium, but I don't know if we have enough guys. Let's see. Medium. Hit this guy.
I'm gonna before we do anything, I'm just gonna point out, like, I don't want to accelerate my defeat here, but I do feel like things are already turning. What did you roll for your heavy machine gun?
3. He does have rate of fire. That's true.
Correct.
Yes. Does have rate of fire. Does have rate of fire. Right. Okay. So heavy with rate hit this guy.
I don't believe you can see him because keep in mind he is foxhole behind a wall. I don't know how the hedges work on hills because the hills are always stupid.
Well, it's a snowdrift, right?
Yes, but it counts as a half-level obstacle, and then
you're a full level above.
But the question I have is, am I? Because hedges and walls are always weird on hills. That's my one question.
Let's look at snowdrift.
Cause I had someone explain to me once that even though the wall on a hill, um, it was like perfectly aligned with the hill, it still counts as being at level, even though like it doesn't. To me, it doesn't make much sense. But hillside walls and hedges B9.6. Okay, let me see if there's a depiction here that makes this make sense. Hillside wall hedge is one which lies along a hex side that is common to two adjacent hexes with different base levels. Okay, so it's not a common hex side. Yada yada yada. Is there one that explains? Okay, so this only talks about if it's exactly on a hillside edge. So if there's maybe there's just something kind of kooky with hills, at least in this case, not depicting it. So take the shot. That's fine. But for those while the dice is getting rolled and all that. So the thing I was referring to here and what I absolutely despise is that so if there is a hillside wall slash hedge that is directly on the hex spine between two different level hexes,
So like L3 and L4, is that what you're saying?
no, so it'd have to be like again, I don't know if this is just a thing because of the hill hexes that are just depicted
Oh,
on
you mean
board
if the
E.
contour was right to the edge of the hex, you mean?
Yeah, like if L4's hill went all the way to the border with M5,
Right, right.
and they
Then
were
the
both.
edge would count as being on level one.
So yeah, and what's annoying is that if you're shooting down that hex spine, it's fine because the wall is only ever counted at the higher level, despite like that not to me not making that much sense.
Making a lot of sense.
You would think that the whole hex side would just gain the benefit because how does one area declare it gets the bonus and not the other? It's just weird. But like I said, just take the shot. It's fine. It's a
So
whatever
it's
plus one.
7. You hear that thunder? Whoa.
I did not.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
3 on 7. K2. Break and ELR. Actually, that's halved because you're shooting at a concealed guy. Does that matter? 3.5. You would have shot 3 on 3.5. 2 morale check. He's still broken. And ELR.
And we still have rate. We're running out of people to shoot, man. I don't think the woods is going to block those cats. All right, we'll hit the heavy machine gunner again. Dubbing up one. No rate. 6 on the 7.
It's definitely a morale check of some sort. He's halved.
Yeah, Lord, yeah, all bad stuff. All the bad things happen to him. Okay. That's it for that machine. went a little nuts. I don't know if M4 can see K5. But he can see J4 down the spines. M4, J4.
M4J4, okay.
Right. He's not concealed, right?
No.
9 up 1.
So K5 has the crags on both levels, right?
9 up, not, yeah, it's
So still
inherent
be,
terrain, right? So it's a 9 up.
so it'd just
Well,
be up to still.
yeah.
Does that change anything? What is that?
8 on a
8
9.
on 9 is definitely
Normal
normal.
instead of a 1 jack.
He's pinned.
No. So that cuts down the incoming fire. And no rate. I rolled a 6. So that's prep for him. Okay. You still have your medium blocking K1.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I don't think that matters all that much. Distinct feeling I'm not gonna survive this one.
Why do we want to keep shooting until he's busted? I want to keep shooting until he's busted. Probably doesn't make a whole heck of a lot of sense, right? All right, we'll go to. Oh, wait, mortar. Okay, the mortar's got to shoot. Mortars will shoot at L3. We might as well keep hitting them. Or, oh no, he'll shoot where he was shooting before. He'll shoot at where the acquisition is. You know where I'm shooting.
Okay.
9 to hit, rolling on the 3 table.
Okay, critical
hit. And this turn, by the way, is turning comical. Apologies to my playing partner here. This is getting pretty bloody ridiculous.
I just like how you started off with like still rolling 5s and all that, and you rolled 4 snake eyes.
It's
today?
Just a gross turn. Like 4 snake eyes and a 3.
Well, three this turn, but 4 I think total.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Something like that.
Pretty disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that flips the modifier. So that's a.
Yeah, so it's a -2 instead of a +2.
Yeah, it's a 3K and kills everybody.
You roll IFT.
Oh, I'm thinking I rolled another 2. Isn't that brilliant of me?
So it goes from a 6 to a 12, and then -2, 5 on 12, 2 morale check. Leader's fine. Squad or half squad survives somehow. But they are redeemed.
Right. And we did get raped, so we'll just shoot him again because it's that's what you do. Shoot him again. All right. That one's done. Other mortar. 2 hit. That's a hit. 3 up 2. Nothing.
Phew.
And no rate. That's it. All right. Now I think we're done shooting.
Finally.
Move. Yeah. All right. Hank. Let's get the turret Going the right way. One,
3, I believe.
3.
Because you're moving into a hex with another tank.
Yeah, yeah. Overstacked. So
Yeah. So I think it's 3, but either way, you got plenty of movement. So
yeah, and then 3. Is it quarter movement?
that's a great question. I have not checked what exactly, how much
Well, what does
exactly.
it say it counts as?
It's usually just the road, because you're not going into the
Right.
stream, right?
Vehicles may
Um,
cross the bridge as if entering a stone building.
building. So it'd
Okay, so
be
I
half if you
think
want
that's
to reduce bog chance.
right. So we're gonna go half movement.
So that'll be 10.5 total.
Yes, we have to take 7.5 plus 3, so 10.5, and then we have to take a bog check with a +3, low ground pressure +2.
Let's see here. So, what's your ground pressure? Square
He's
is
got a square, so that's low, right? Old baby
I
tank.
I forget.
Yeah, circle is heavy, nothing is normal,
Normal.
and square is light or low.
Okay, so there's nothing for low.
Oh, I'm
Um,
thinking snow drift. What am I thinking? Let's look at bog table.
so bog table, you're not towing anything. Ground is specified as snow, mud, snow covered, so there's a +1. I don't think you get a +1 for deep snow because technically you're going through a plowed road, so I think it would just count as snow, wouldn't it?
I think so. I mean, it's they didn't make it very clear, right?
Well, I think it's that's more of a failing, or it feels like more of a failing when it comes to other stuff. Mud deep snow, whenever it enters a hex or hexside without benefit of a paved. Okay, cool. So you do get snow, but not deep snow. So there's a +1. Um, you're not doing anything else other than going into quote unquote a stone building at half movement, uh, which is +4. So +5 overall to the roll.
Okay, it's pretty bad. I'm just flicking down to the table so I can see what I'm doing to myself here.
Yeah, no worries, no worries. D8.21. And then if you roll 12 or above, you bog, so you just end your movement
Right.
immediately stopped.
There it is. Right. So
And I guess it is a task check, so there is a potential for sniper.
yeah, yeah, I think you're right. So it's just a +5, right?
Yeah. I can't think of any other modifiers. So.
Bottom 7. That's bad. Boink.
Oh, you're fine. See, you're so worried about it.
10. $11.
Sure, you can be there for 11.5.
11.5. Sorry. Uh, bypass. Motion.
You can't be bypassed on a hill hex. Has to be
Oh,
buildings or
right,
woods,
right,
right?
right. So then, all right. So here.
Or at the very least, I'm pretty sure you can't ignore that in a Dassel board.
Yeah. Um,
Oh, excuse me.
so, so deep snow vehicle, baby. More rules. In deep snow, blah blah blah. One extra movement point per hex side. So one extra movement point per hex side. But he might not be able. Can he even move into crags?
Crag might be another bog check. Let's see here.
Certain
Crag.
things got confusing.
Crag B17. Vehicle may never occupy a Crag hex. Wow. I thought you could
Oh,
at least it on a bog check, but nope.
we can go in there. We can go in there. All right.
Just you wait. I'm gonna roll some stones into you.
Yeah, well, I don't know if we're gonna let you do that.
It's too bad they don't. You can't use that as an attack on a vehicle for an immobilization chance.
Yeah, whatever. We'll stop right there. Or groovy.
Stop there. Okay.
All right, next dude. Uh, 1.5. No, we don't want to go there. We want to go bypass 1.5.
From you were on K2.
Oh wait, we have to do the
Yeah,
K1
you
thing.
have to. Yeah, yeah.
Right. Keep forgetting that. We should move with the tank. All right. Well, if we just have to do it anyway. Yeah, that's dumb. They should have prep fired. All right. Alternate plan. Other vehicle.
Okay.
7.5. Bog check.
Bog check with a +6. Because he's got a +1 from being stunned.
That's bog.
Yes, just equal the bog check. So it just means they stop immediately on that on there. They retain their +1. That's it. Have to wait till next turn for bog removal.
All right. How many guys are in there? There's 2 squad equivalents in there. Those guns.
Yep.
So move on to the bridge.
Sure. Seems a little suicidal, but
You know, you got to do what you got to do, man. We just need to make as much trouble for you as possible. That's it.
you've done enough.
Leader will assault move there.
Sure.
Machine gunner will assault move there.
Okay.
That's everybody.
Sounds good. Defensive fire phase. I'm going to have my guy in H1 shoot at your guy in the stream of J2. It's a 4 flat. Nope. MMG and squad are going to both shoot at your giant lovely stack in K2. It is an 8-2, I believe.
Sounds right.
Normal with rates.
All right. Normal. Leader. Good. Squad with light machine gun. Not
Take
so
it.
good. Half squad. Half squad. Good. And second line squad. Good. So only the good guy broke. It's fantastic.
Rate of fire with the MMG. Still technically shooting at full firepower, so I'll take a swing at the tank in my face. There's a +3 for having moved, plus small, but I will be able to hit it anyways. No. Did I get rate? I did. Might as well try a second shot. Hit. No. Third shot. No. And no effect. That is it
Is that
for...
on 3 or on 2? Is that a medium?
Yeah, it's medium. My heavy's on the. You broke my heavy a long time ago.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's
Um,
why we're bum rushing because we broke the heavy.
not much else I can do. Advanced fire phase.
All right. These boys and all these boys and these boys. What do we got? We got 8 and 3 is 11, and 8 is 19. Half is 9.5.
Are they considered adjacent for? They probably are, but
Oh, you mean for fire group purposes?
yeah, are they still considered adjacent?
Is a bridge? Is a destroyed bridge adjacent? I have no clue.
Well, so it's not destroyed, right? Um,
Or damaged or whatever they call it.
and it doesn't. I don't think it technically matters if they can walk into one another. There's certain limitations on who can fire group, but
No, I mean, if you want, well, let's look up
it
fire
just
group.
it just says location adjacent to. So big adjacent is big adjacent are considered adjacent if any infantry unit in one location could conceivably, ignoring enemy presence, advance into the other during advance phase and a LOS exists between the two locations. So arguably no, because you can't advance off the bridge into the building.
Okay, so non-adjacent. All right.
Yeah, strange.
Scratch,
I was not sure that would work in my
scratch
favor,
that plan.
but I
All
will.
right, 8, 11. So from here, 5.5 up to.
Sure.
Smells like a big nothing burger. From here we got
4
4 up to.
sounds right. All right. Well, at the very least, that would have been the same result either way.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think it would have been a
nothing
miss. So.
Tank.
The tank's gonna
So
shoot.
he-
All right.
Yeah, he's 9 doubled, 18 halved 9.
So he's quarter doubled,
Halved again 4.5.
or at least I believe so. So it'll make more sense to divide it first. So he moved. So he goes from 9 to 4.5, and it's advanced fire phase. So it goes to 225, and then you double it for being adjacent to 4.5. So
Yeah, commutative property of mathematics.
Yeah.
Dividing and multiplying comes out the same, right?
yeah. So 4.5 up 2.
4.5 up 2. Big fat nothing burger there.
Hope. I keep hoping for 11s. You know, break those guns. 12s
Yeah,
mysteriously not around on either side.
Not even. Tank's not gonna shoot. That smells like a waste of time. That's everybody.
I can't remember the last time I rolled a 12 that wasn't for a morale check.
Yeah.
It's been a while. That's it. Routes, okay.
Right. All right. Me first. Broke dude.
Yeah, you do have one guy that's gonna potentially be interdicted if you don't low crawl.
Oh right. Let's see.
Actually, he has to low crawl or risk interdiction. Because I'm at a higher level, so I'll avoid the bridge stuff.
All right, with that stupid K1 thing again. God, I hate bridges. I hate them.
Yeah. So you could technically stay in K2 because there is plus TEM. I don't think you have to route from it. I don't know how it's. I wouldn't assume it's counted as open ground forced to route, right?
Yeah.
So I assume you can stay there if you want, but if you do move, the only available exit is K3, and you would be interdicted if you don't low crawl.
Right. So yeah, he'll just stay where he is. That's fine.
Okay. I think that's it for your stuff. I've got my 2 guys in I1 who are going to route to H1, G1, and I'll probably stay in G1. K4. Anybody else? I will route that guy's... Yeah, you know what? My guys in L4 are going to route into K4 because it is... they are both half squads, so they will fit in the foxhole.
Oh, okay, makes sense.
And that's all I can do. Or all I want to do, really.
Right. Okay. So, advance phase. Advance phase. All right. I'll go in the building. There.
That's pretty ballsy.
There. There. There.
The Germans are going crazy.
Hey, smoke them while you got them. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
That's it for advances. No close combat.
That's it for advances. All right. Norwegian turn 2, weather. No change. That would have been a lovely rally roll. I will attempt to self-rally. I won't get it. I will then try some rallies in K4. Don't think I get either. Then I'll try G1. Oops, didn't need a second roll. I will also not get it. And then I think I've only really got one round of shooting for me to care about the rest of this scenario, to be honest. So, you've got...
That makes sense.
You got 2 rallies, I think.
Oh yeah, rallies. All right. So I got guy back here. The DM came off.
Hmm.
So he needs a broken side is 1 better. So he's a 6, 7, 8. Rolled a 9.
Okay.
Out of the war. And let's see. This guy's a 7, 3. He's a 3. Gross. Knows out of, but DM comes off. I'm gonna shoot him again.
All right.
And that's it for mine.
Sounds good. Prep fire. I am going to try a few shenanigans here. H1 is going to shoot at the mortars, so 4 flat. Pin task check.
In check. Mortarman. Mortarman stays with his mortar. Oh, there's 2 Mortarmen.
There's 2 mortarmen.
Interesting. I don't need 2 guys with those mortars. That's dumb.
Honestly, I would have figured that's where the half squads would have had them, but I'll take 2 squads being in the back doing nothing.
Half squads were supposed to scout across the bridge, but I forgot the bridge rule for like the 12th consecutive scenario that we played with a bridge. So.
J4 is going to shoot at K1. It's a 4-up-1. Nope. All right. Glad I didn't use the machine gun on that.
That would have been grotesque, yes.
Medium machine gun and squad will shoot at the same target, just shooting the infantry. So it is a 16 up 1. I do have rate of fire, which is nice. That is a 5 on 16, which is a 3 morale check.
Oh, gross. All right. Half squad. Oh, excuse me. Half squad. Oh, full squad. Passed. Haha.
Full squad passes. I finally get a sniper. 4-2. I will pin, or something will happen to the mortars. Got a random selection.
Yep. Random selection coming in. Top squad, bottom squad. Bottom squad pins.
Bottom squad pins. All right. Rate of fire. I'm going to have the medium machine gun shoot at L5. as an 8 flat. Pin test check.
Pin check coming in. That's good.
Yeah, I really don't think I can survive this one. Movement phase, none. Defensive.
All right, defensive. Here we go. Start the tank. 18 up one.
Yeah, alright, that's game.
That's just ridiculous.
That's pretty wow. I'm glad I'm logging it. I got records of this. This is why I need logs of this stuff.
All right. I'm going to show stats, even though we know it's going to be really stupid.
IFTs. Yeah.
IFT, 3 snakes, 2 threes, 4 fives, 3 sixes.
Yeah. And that's so you had 3 snake eyes on IFT, you had 1 snake eye on morale check. That's why it's marked as other, and then 1 on 2 hit for the mortar.
Oh right, and a critical hit with the mortar as well.
So
That's right.
five snake eyes, three threes, which I only got 1 benefit from a sniper, not even a good one. Pretty wild game.
Yeah, that was a dice bomb for sure.
Yeah. And mine, I think, is kind of a... I mean, I did survive a lot of task checks. I rolled really low, or at least under... Yeah, I never rolled above a 6 on task checks, which was really nice. So my guys never pinned, but morale checks pretty standard. 3, 4, 5, a lot of 7s, 8, a lot of 10s. But my IFT was not where I needed to be. So, and I think once it kind of, I was convinced that this would block, so that's why I wasn't taking shots with this guy, because otherwise that's another 4 firepower I can throw somewhere. But I don't quite see how the Norwegians are supposed to survive, considering the strength of both forces.
You know, when I looked at the 2 -1 leaders, I was like, this has got to be hard to win for the Norwegians.
I think the biggest issue I have, if I'm being honest, is I think the Germans get too many support weapons. And I mean, the Panzers are fine. I don't know. I think how would I I'm trying to think of how I would balance this scenario. I don't like the balance that's in this. Adding a 228 and an MMG to the Norwegian OOB is not what they need, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's fine to get an extra MMG, but you don't really have places to put them. And excuse me, the nature of the map means that you don't really care for anything on the left side. Like, there's nothing going on this end. The only thing I ever thought about doing on the left was having the German mortars up on like F3 G4.
Putting them there. Yeah, that was the alternate location, was to put them there.
Yeah, just to get a little bit more coverage, you know.
Yeah, I put them here specifically for this hex.
Right.
And if you look from the mortars, you know, you can probably see that hex as well.
Most likely. I don't see why you wouldn't be able to.
Yeah, so that's why, you know, would have been, and I thought about, you know, do you put them back here and put a spotter so that they can't take return fire?
Oh, no way. No, you don't.
Yeah, I was like, no, there's I'm going to have 2 machine guns guided by -1 leaders shooting at them. And it's 6 hex ranges from the top of the hill, so your squads are halved and mine aren't.
Yeah. I think I think if I was to change this scenario, which I think it needs, considering what we've seen for records so far, I would take out the HMG for the Germans. I don't think they need it, and I would take out a mortar. That would be my 2 initial changes, and then afterwards I would either take out 1 tank, because I don't think they really need 2. Having 18 firepower, no ATR for the Norwegians. And then I would start taking out 447s that come in as reinforcements.
Yeah.
And then if the Germans start losing too much, reduce the 457s that the Norwegians get. So maybe keep 8 squads, but have it be second line instead of first,
Mm.
and do
Yeah,
that way.
yeah.
Because right now, like, the Germans have so many guys, and you just like you instantly get into all the buildings. So there's
Yeah,
nothing,
exactly.
you can't
Right.
stop it, and they have line of sight on all the objective hexes. The only other thing I could think of would be, if I wanted to be very like play it lame, is you would set up in like K3, L1, M1, N1, and N2 arguably as well. So there's never any line of sight on your Norwegians because of, if you're in if you're in the foxhole in L2, you can't be spotted from anybody but K4, L3, right?
Right.
M2,
Right.
M3 as well. Um, so you can't be spotted by anybody because you're behind a wall in a foxhole, and then you just advance on the last turn, and you that like the only thing you care about is turn 6, which, if that's how you're playing it, if that's how you design a scenario, that's
Yeah.
boring.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
I almost feel like the other thing I would, oh, you know what? The one time I could have done it and I forgot about it. I could have rolled stones.
Oh, you could have rolled a rock on my
Yeah.
guys.
Well, it would have changed. Technically, it would have changed this one, but it wouldn't have on that guy because I think I missed L5.
Oh yeah,
Um.
L5 you missed because that was your rate of fire shot.
Yeah. And I think I just rolled too high to get an effect because I don't think that guy took a pin test check, right? It was just a miss.
Yeah, you rolled a 10 on that
Yeah,
guy.
yeah. So yeah, I think like maybe the second SSR, you say like keep it a secret, from the German side. It's kind of like when both sides know that sort of thing, you just know not to get up close early so that you
Right.
don't suffer from it, right? So it kind of hurts itself in that light, but that's about it, really. I don't think there's much else you can really do. The damaged bridge is neat, but +2 TEM is probably too much. Maybe a +1 only, because I don't see how a damaged bridge gives that much protection.
Yeah, yeah. And to your original point, I mean, the Germans get into cover, cover, and then once they get to it's cover, 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 cover. So
And you can just ignore the bridge. Like, get into K3, and if you really want to protect the guys in K3 when they first set up, you have them go into K4. Um,
right, and I thought about slow, like you can do a slower assault and
yeah.
try to get vehicular smoke,
Right, right. Or like even
and
just get
and
the
then
K guys in K3 to go to get the wall bonus. So the first shot against them will still have a bonus on that, and then you just go around. Um,
right, and maybe with smoke in the hex as well. So yeah,
hmm And there's no, the other thing too that was more and more apparent as soon as we started was, there's no turn one. There's no prevention for occupying these hexes, right? So you can enter from off board and get into H2, I2, J2 with no issue. Save from, maybe one or two shots from the hill, but you essentially claim these four buildings almost guaranteed. Um, and like you can't really push back on that. So the Germans never really have a deficit of defensive modifiers, and to a certain degree that's fine. Like the Norwegians do get an HMG, they do have an MMG, but I don't think that it's necessarily enough to overcome the buildings. So once
yeah, yeah, and the fact that from a support weapon perspective, right, with the two tanks, you know,
two
I have war
tanks,
machine and
HMG.
yeah, and then mortars that like, and then if you're shooting at my mortars or my Overwatch, you're not shooting at the guys, you know,
Yeah, it's a very difficult shot.
who are gonna get a big shot off at you in the advancing fire phase.
Yeah, I thought a bit about setting up multiple foxholes in hexes, right? So like multiple foxholes in L4 or J4, that sort of thing. Um, but honestly, the same problem exists no matter what. Of like, even if Dassel somehow makes it so that they're separate locations, so you might have to target each individually, which I don't think is the case. But even if there was something that abusive that you could do, there's still not as much of a benefit. Um,
Right.
it's
You
just
still only have so many guys, and once you
yeah,
break them,
and if
it's over.
exactly if I get really unlucky, then I just lose two guys in the same hex in one in one engagement rather than one at a time. And I was at least trying to play for a little bit of time, but as we saw, like HMG that just started buzzing through everybody was kind of just crazy. Not much you can do to prevent that sort of thing.
Yeah, when I roll snake eyes 3 times into half a turn, that's kind of gross. Which it's always amazing to me when this periodically, occasionally happens because other people this happens to a lot. So I'm like, oh, this is what it's like to roll like
That's
a
right.
regular person.
This is
Occasionally have a lucky turn.
this is how you win tournaments.
Right, right, yeah. Instead of my usual, 3 snake eyes in a half, or boxcars in a half
That's
a turn, and
that's
both my
right.
points
That's right.
heavier broken on the first turn, right?
That's right. Well, at least we can take some joy out of it. Like I know I got swept off my feet on dice rolls, but one I felt like it was gonna happen. It had to happen. It was your time to recover from bad rolls.
I was, I was due. That's right.
Yeah, exactly. So, and again, like trying to have a more positive aspect on dice rolls because it doesn't. You have to kind of celebrate good rolls at some point, right? you can't always. I can't always be sad about my own good rolls. So, um,
That's right. That's right.
so yeah. Anyways,
Not
I think the scenario could be changed, but that is at this point neither here nor there. What is next for us? So, there's one that was jokingly proposed to Rutan that I'm going to say we are skipping regardless, the two of us, because it's just too. It's 13 and a half turns, and frankly, I don't have. I am not a mind to follow that. Um,
to play one scenario for a month and a half.
yeah, just kind of I like having things kind of going a little bit, rolling a little bit. Um, there's a couple scenarios that I discussed with Ruben that they're very old scenarios, and I don't think they're quite designed properly. One's a playtester scenario, so it's not definitely not up to snuff, and the other is like HTML only, so deciphering it is a challenge in and of itself these days. Um,
And
so I might come back to you. I'll get back to you off stream. Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna continue this conversation in 2 seconds. For everybody watching, thank you for watching. Uh, should have a scenario with Rutan next week. Should be Beacon of Hope, I believe. AP 15 Swedish Volunteers. Hope to see you then. Bye.